Morning. Now, it is the latest in Kiwi ingenuity, a GPS-based system made specifically for tourists, pointing out the best parts of our country.
Reporter Matty McLean, the most like a tourist at work here, took it for a test drive.
In a country where tourism is at the forefront, it seems like the perfect gadget.
If you're in an area, we're providing you with that information, or if you approach a point of interest, we'll provide you with information on that. But if we're in an area where tourism radio has no information, like a long open stretch of road, that's when the radio shows and the music plays.
Tourism radio covers 150 New Zealand hotspots. It also has a database of around 1,600 points of interest. So I can be driving in the far north and get info on 90 Mile Beach, or the far south and find out about the infamous powerhouse.
New Zealand's a perfect market for it. We get a lot of self-drive tourists. We're small enough where you can actually see most of the country in a sort of 4 to 5 week holiday.
It's not a fiddly, complicated gadget either. So this is pretty easy then, Hayden. Talk us through how it all works.
Okay, well you simply attach the tourism radio unit to your windscreen like so. So it can get its GPS fix, and then you tune the frequency in on both the decoder and the radio, sit back and tourism radio does the rest.
Fantastic. So if we turn it up now...
Okay, well, as I mentioned before, the bridge...
Easy as.
Easy as.
So I figured I'd give it a whirl. It wasn't long before we were passing our first hotspot.
You are now approaching Wellington waterfront. Two of the best places to visit in the area are the Te Papa Museum and the Circa Theatre.
So we did what any good tourist would do, we went sightseeing. Then tourism radio pointed out...
You are now approaching Oriental Parade. Oriental Bay is a sheltered and safe swimming area lined on one side by a promenade that's very popular with joggers and rollerbladers.
And Paul, driving through central Wellington, tourism radio even found something for you.
You're now approaching the Government Buildings Historic Reserve and Department of Conservation Visitors Centre.
But it was outside the Beehive that we ran into some genuine tourists, so we asked them what they thought of it.
Excellent idea, particularly if it's your first time here, so you see all the relevant points straight away. And if you've been several times and only got a short amount of time, it means you can get around without having to keep looking at your map all the time.
If you happen to drive by, you might not notice it. If it hadn't been for this, you may not know it was there.
The business owners have already had a positive response.
We've signed up 7 rental car companies at the moment. We've got sort of 4 or 5 others we're talking to also at the moment. So there's plenty of interest out there. So yeah, we see it growing and being a big player in the tourism market here in New Zealand.
So with tourism radio, driving Miss Daisy has never been easier.